Hey guys, what's up? I usually don't do these kinds of videos, um, these kinds of like top 20 or whatever videos, informal like this without transitions between, but I figured this would just be a kind of quick, interesting little video, go through some stuff, talk about some stuff. But this is my top 20 Scream Factory releases. Now, I will say that two of these are from Shout Factory before Scream Factory came. They made their own division for horror films. But two of these are films that I think would be perfect for Scream Factory to release. And Scream Factory, Shout Factory are basically the same company, so I'm just going to go ahead and count them. Now, this is going from 20 to 1, so sitting at the number 20 spot is Slumber Party Massacre Collection. Now, I know they did a Blu-ray release of this under their Scream Factory label, but it was just for the first film, and I really like the first Slumber Party Massacre film. The second one is pretty entertaining as well, but it never gets as entertaining as the first one. The third one is easily the worst in the series, but one of the main reasons this one sits this high on the list is because A, it is a Shout Factory release and not necessarily a Scream Factory release, and B, well, actually that's just the main reason, but this one comes with audio commentaries and new transfers of the first two movies, and a 3-part documentary, which is very, very cool. But yeah, that is my number 20. At 19, we have Johnny Got His Gun, which this is not really a horror film as much as it is a very, very dark drama film. Very dark drama, anti-war film, actually. It's one of the most depressing movies I've actually ever seen, and that is a statement coming from me. But I do consider this film to be a bit of a body horror film in the sense that it is a film about a World War I soldier who is hit by a mortar shell, and he is basically trapped inside his own body, wondering if he's alive or dead. And to me, that is the essence of body horror. Next, we have this one mainly because this is a nice, cheap release that has some pretty solid little movies on it. I really like Cellar Dweller, and their 4-packs they release like this, I always really, really enjoy them. I wish they would put, like, the spine on there, so that way I could flip it and have, like, one of the things on each side, and still have the spine. But it's a nice little DVD release. I'm also putting all the DVDs at the top. Damn. Fuck. Shit. Next is Day of the Dead. The only reason I have this one up so high is because I'm not the biggest fan of Day of the Dead, and because by the time I grabbed this release, they didn't have the slipcovers anymore, and I really like the original poster art a lot, but I also like this new poster art they did. But this does come with tons of special features, and I really do like this release of Day of the Dead. Again, it's not my favorite entry in the Of the Dead series. It's not my favorite zombie movie either. But, honestly, I think it's one of the... I think it's, like... It's better than Land of the Dead, but not as good as Night. The next is The Babadook. Main reason this is, on the list is because this one, I really like The Babadook. I mean, people thought it was overhyped, and I will admit, I did overhype it a bit too with some people, but I thought it was a very, very entertaining, very creepy little movie, so I picked that cheap DVD release of it up because I found it for $10 cheaper than the Blu-ray release. But next we have Wormwood, Road of the Dead. It's like Mad Max meets Dawn of the Dead, and I would have to pretty much agree with that. But I pre-ordered this one last year, and I was really excited to see it after hearing so many good things. And it's definitely one of the better zombie movies of the last few years, and I really hope they do make a sequel. Now we get on to the actual Blu-rays. The first Blu-ray, which is number, 2019, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, I think? I'm not going to count, but at number 14 we have The Horror Show, also known as House 3, The Horror Show, which is this Blu-ray DVD combo pack. I remember when this first came out, this was like a $25 Blu-ray release, which I really don't think is worth it, considering the, well, I'm not even going to try and take the DVD out, but considering that this film literally comes with interviews with Kane Hodder and then the theatrical trailer, but this is like the unofficial. It's credited as the unofficial third sequel in the House series, and I really really like this film. It's also credited as the unofficial seventh movie in the Italian Evil Dead series. Speaking of the Italian Evil Dead series, the next release is Ghost House and Witchery. These are both unofficial. These are both movies in the La Casa series. The La Casa series basically being the series of unofficial sequels to Evil Dead 2. Next, we have The Fog. I got this one pretty late. I actually got this one quite recently. Mainly because I was slacking on getting, I didn't really have a job until, like, last year, so I didn't have any money to buy any releases from Scream Factory, so I never really had that many until, like, last year. Next is The Editor, the Astron 6, Giallo-inspired, kind of horror comedy. Very, very good. I rewatched it recently, and it is, definitely a better film than a bit better than I remembered it being. And, as someone who really enjoys Giallo films, it's a very fun little movie. Next is Without Warning. And, main reason this one is on here is because Scream Factory finally came to the rescue and put this one out on both DVD and Blu-ray. This one did not have a DVD release for the longest time. And it's an alien slasher film, and I really, really enjoy it. Some people don't like it that much, but the cinematography in the film is done by Dean Cundy, who did the cinematography in Halloween. Next is the double pack of Terror Vision and the Video Dead. It's another one of these snap cases. And, I saw the Video Dead on Netflix years ago, and I really liked it. And then I heard that it was finally getting a Blu-ray DVD release with another movie called Terror Vision, and I watched it, and I really, really enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed both movies. So I finally decided to get this very nice Blu-ray release, which, for this being a double pack, this has a ton of features, for this just being a cheap little double pack. Next is Clive Barker's Lord of Illusions. Not my favorite Clive Barker film. Bought this one on a whim because I really like his movies and the stuff that his films are based on. And I don't really like the reversible cover art that much, so I just keep the new cover art. I think that is a way better cover. But it is a very good little kind of like dark fantasy film. It's very much in the vein of something like Nightbreed. A little darker than Nightbreed, perhaps. Next is Dog Soldiers, another case of I don't like the poster art or the cover art they went with for the reverse. So I don't like that cover art, so I just decided to go with just keeping the new cover art. Dog Soldiers is very, very fun little werewolf kind of action film, kind of werewolf horror film. I would compare it to the Evil Dead. Just replace the Deadites with werewolves. It's also the first movie from the director who also gave us The Descent, which is a very, very good movie. One that has not been put out by Scream Factory, sadly, but I think it should. Next, we have Stuart Gordon's From Beyond. Sadly, I tried to take the sticker off, and it ruined the slip cover, and that really bothers me. But this is one of my favorite Stuart Gordon films, one of my favorite Lovecraft adaptations as well. I don't know what else to say, but it comes with some a decent amount of special features. Nothing too amazing, but I really enjoy the reversible art for it. I really enjoy the new artwork and the reversible artwork. Screw putting the slipcover back on. I'm just going to go through these. Next is Class of 1984. Really happy they did a Blu-ray release of this. Again, this is another one that isn't really a horror film. It's more of a kind of... I mean, it doesn't become a horror film until like the last, like, 10 minutes or so. But it's a very entertaining kind of revenge drama thriller. And they included another version of the poster on the DVD, which I thought was very, very cool. But I always really liked this film, as well as its kind of sequel, Class of 1999, which I think they should do a Blu-ray release of that, because that film is really good, and that run has actually yet to have a Blu-ray release, at least as far as I know. Next, we got Wes Craven's People Under the Stairs. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I reversed the slip for this one. But I really dig the new artwork on it. And sadly, we lost Wes Craven last year, around this time of year. I think it might be coming up on the 1-year anniversary, maybe later this month, or the end of next month. But I remember it happening, and it was very, very terrible. And this is one of my favorite Wes Craven films, definitely one of his best. It has a very kind of dark, almost fairy tale-like feel to it. And I really like the setting, and while the special features aren't like, it doesn't have all these amazing I mean, it has some good special features, but it doesn't have like some of the best stuff you'll ever see Scream Factory put out, which is what we're getting in these last 3 right here. Next is the recent release of Return of the Living Dead, one of my all-time favorite zombie comedies. Ooh. And there's a 2-disc Blu-ray release with the original cover art. I love that artwork. And something I really dig is the fact that they gave out 2 different slipcovers, although that does kind of annoy me, because then I have to decide between which slipcover. I'm going to get a cheap copy of Return of the Living Dead to put this and to put the other slipcover on. But this comes with tons and tons of special features, new audio commentaries, interviews, as well as the nearly 2-hour-long documentary about the making of this film and about the legacy that this film has had on horror film culture. And finally, the director's cut of Nightbreed. I did not have the chance to get the limited edition, because again, it came out before I had a job and an income and a chance to really get my hands on it. But I still got this regular release of it, which is still a very nice release. Comes with a bunch of special features, and it's very, very good to finally see this classic Clive Barker film, one of my favorite Clive Barker film, I might add, get a Blu-ray release. I will say I am a little disappointed that they only included the theatrical cut in the collector's edition. I mean, I have never seen the theatrical cut. The only version I've seen is the director's cut, but I still think it would have been cool if they would have included it, you know? But I've always wanted to get my hands on that collector's edition. And finally, the #1 spot goes to the Scream Factory release of Army of Darkness. Army of Darkness is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. And when I heard that it was getting the treatment from Scream Factory, I absolutely lost my goddamn mind. Because I knew that, knowing Scream Factory, they would fill it full of special features, and they did. They included all different versions of the film, including the theatrical version, the director's cut, which is a very good version, the international cut, and the television cut. And actually, the international and television cut, well, the television cut is longer than the theatrical version. But before I got this set, the only versions of Army of Darkness I owned was this very old DVD of it, and the official bootleg edition of the director's cut, which was a pretty bad quality transfer that they used to do that release that Anchor Bay did years ago. But I'm still, to this day, very happy with this version of this release of Army of Darkness. I was waiting to upgrade it to Blu-ray because I really loved it, and I was waiting for there to be a nice Blu-ray release that had all the different cuts and everything. And finally, Scream Factory came through and gave it to us. But that is really it when it comes to some of my favorite Scream Factory releases. Let me just... But how about you guys? What are you guys' favorite Scream Factory releases, and why? I'd really like to hear that. But anyway, guys, this is Biscuit Boo Horror Reviews, signing off. Peace. Peace.